Hello there, welcome to Plus Talk on Plus Life. We're all about turning positive into a plus, and today, Gena Tew, it's all about you. Good to see you, Gena.
It's good to see you as well. How are you?
I'm well, and I want to ask you how you are because you have shown an amazing amount of resilience and strength. This has been quite a year for you. I mean, we talk about an HIV diagnosis. You went straight to the top of the class and went with full
Yeah.
blown AIDS. Tell us about those early moments, and you share it on your TikTok, but how does that all register and compute with you?
When it was all happening, I was so out of it when they told me because I had went down so fast, my mental just wasn't really there. So like when they told me, "Did you know you have AIDS?" I'm just kind of like, "What?" Like it just didn't compute all the way, and then I just my mental just kept getting even more away from me that it didn't really hit me until the middle of being in the hospital that I'm like, "I hate it here. I want it to stop." You know, I didn't really realize how deep I was in when I was told that I had AIDS. So,
But you don't hold anything back on this social media. So how are you doing?
well, sometimes it could be mentally draining. I just tried to hold so much in, but sometimes it just takes a toll on me, and I just start worrying about myself extremely. And then, mental health is very important, and so I try to be as vulnerable and as open to people so they're not getting the wrong idea of things like, oh, she's so happy about this or anything. It's like, no, actually, I do have my breakdowns as well, but it can get to me. But overall, I try to keep a more positive and don't worry kind of perspective on social media because I don't want people to be down.
How do you make sure that you don't worry too much?
Honestly, I don't. you know, my sister passed away during, like, I was out of the hospital, but I was still not doing so well. And I lost her when I first went to go see her, and she's been praying for me so much, and she's always been like, "Gina's got this, Gina's got this," and she's gonna make it. She's very Catholic, and I feel like sometimes this is just me. I feel like maybe she gave herself away for me to survive. So I
Mm.
try my best to look at it in that way. That's what kind of keeps me going because there was no reason she should have left. She was doing great. And I was the one that was so ill, but she had such a great connection to God that I feel like she might have did that for me. I don't know if that makes sense.
And now you're undetectable, and things are looking a lot brighter. How how do you where do you find that inner strength? I guess a lot of people watch this and perhaps think, I wonder how I would cope if that happened to me. What are some of the mechanisms or processes that you've discovered and sort of hung on to about yourself that have helped you essentially bit by bit start climbing out of this really dark, horrible place that you were in?
I've just had so much support on social media through it all that I'm just like, I've got to prove to myself and these people that I can do it and I'm going to be fine. I don't know. I just kind of pressured myself in that sense, but um, I don't know. It's weird to say this, but I never really just been like, oh, I'm out. Like, I'm not going to make it. I just never had that thought in my head. But they were telling my mother she's not gonna make it. You got to get funeral arrangements ready for her, and they told her that twice, and I didn't even know. I just was so not there that I just didn't know, and then I just I don't know. I just strive. That's the one thing that just keeps me going. It's like I gotta try harder today. I gotta try harder today. I gotta beat what I did yesterday, beat it today, and I just keep going that way.
So where are you at with things? Because you were unable to walk. I've looked at your videos. You're doing great there. Vision and blind in your left eye. Where is your health aside from the great news that you're undetectable? Where is it at today?
So I mean, I feel fine. I feel great. Aside from the vision is like the only thing I really worry about right now. Is because they don't know if they can fix it because of the disease that I had gotten, CMV disease in my eye. I guess since you're prone to rare diseases, that's one of them that I got, it damaged so much tissue in the eye that they don't know if they can reverse it, but we're doing everything we can to try. I gotta try as much as I hate it. I gotta try.
You've said in the past that you weren't really knowledgeable when it comes to health and all of this sort of stuff. When did you realize that something was really not right here?
I was I was I was having a lot of bowel problems. It started with the rear.
Hmm.
And I just was thinking
Trouble
to
in the
myself,
rear.
yeah. I was just like, oh God, I got anal cancer. I don't know what's going on. I was going to the doctors so that they could tell me, and I was specifically looking for those kind of doctors for the down there. And they were all like, oh, we don't see anything wrong. You're totally fine. And of course, the misdiagnoses of, oh, you have cervical cancer. And then another one, oh, no, who told you that? That was a lie. It's just kind of was like, I'm all over the place. But I'm just keep getting worse. And once I started running headfirst into walls, like I had to go to the bathroom. And I just ran straight for the bathroom door to the wall next to my toilet. And then I guess when I couldn't get out of my bed really, and I ended up pooping on my floor. It was just so uncontrollable. I'm like, I gotta go to the hospital. I can't do this. And I almost didn't know if I was gonna make it because I could barely walk down the hall to get to my elevator.
How terrifying is that? That you're losing control of your body. Like that's gotta be just
Yeah,
terrifying.
I was just like, I need somebody to help me. I need someone to come and help me. I did have a friend that would come over some days, and I like called my mom, and my mom's like, we're coming out there right now. We're gonna be there, but my mom doesn't do planes, so she drove. It took her some days, and within them days, I was just withering away. And so I'm like, I can't.
Was there some comfort in then? I know this might sound like a ridiculous question, but some comfort in then knowing once you were told, look, this is AIDS and your body is shutting down because of that. Did that give you at least some kind of like, well, thank God we know what it is. Now what do we do to fix it?
Well, yeah, because I was in so much pain.
You make it very clear through your social media posts that you are a fighter and you share all your results and you talk about being undetectable and all of this great stuff. What do you hope that your followers and people who hear you and see you, what do you hope they take away from your experience and learn?
Never give up. There's always you can always make progress. Don't just, it's a new world. Like there's so much more that can help fix these things. It's no longer a death sentence. It's really true. It's like you just hear that and it's like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. It's like the world has really progressed. There's so much stuff out here to help you. You just gotta make sure you go to the doctor. Don't be afraid. And a lot of people I notice they believe in the natural remedies and stuff on social media. They're like, stop taking your medicine. Just do natural herbs and you'll be cured. And I'm like, yeah, that's a quick way to end up in the ER. No, you can do that stuff. But please take your medicine every day. You know?
There's so many, especially women who think, look, HIV/AIDS doesn't. It's not that. It's not my. I don't need to worry about that. That's not my issue. But you're living proof here and now that HIV is something that doesn't discriminate or take favorites.
It could happen to anyone, and people just assume, oh, you must have been doing this and that. And wow, imagine how many people she's infected. It's like, it's sad the assumptions that come with it, but they're not true. That doesn't happen that way. It can come from a needle, even a tattoo needle. If let's just say they happen to use the same tattoo needle they used on somebody with HIV or something. It could come from so many other things.
But by the way, what's wrong with having a lot of sex if you're enjoying it and you and your partner are participating in that consentingly and loving it? Why should we feel shame? Sure, I had a lot of sex. I'm an adult. I think that's something
Exactly.
we've got to try and change the narrative around too, right?
Exactly. I mean, yeah, because I've seen, what is it, those world records? That people are having all this sex and they're not catching anything. And I'm like, see, but I got it. I'm not doing that. They've had sex with like 100 people in one day or 700. I have no idea. It's just like, it does not discriminate. Exactly true.
Gena Tew, thank you so much for making the time, for sharing your journey and your story, and just all the best to you.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me on here.
It was our pleasure. That is going to do it for this episode of Plus Talk. If you want more information about us, check out our website, Plus Life Media, and follow us across social media platforms. We are at Plus Life Media. And check out Gena Tew on TikTok too, because she's doing some great content there, and her journey and her story is really amazing. Until next time, be nice to one another. Educate yourselves. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.